to Narc Detox with Joy. Look, it's detox time. I wanted to get on here real quickly and just talk to you real briefly about why you cannot expect to get closure from a narcissist. Like, I mean, many times we want to have that final piece of closure so that we can just move on, or, get some type of reasoning or understanding as to why did this happen to us? Why did you do this to us? Did you ever care? Did you ever love me? Did you ever mean any of the things that you said? Look, let me tell you, you cannot expect to get closure from a narcissist. First of all, they are emotionally underdeveloped. They are like toddlers in adult bodies, and you can't expect a toddler to deal or reason with adult situations. They want to always be the victim. So as long as you are asking them for closure, you're actually asking them to be accountable for what they did. And we know that they are always the victims. It doesn't matter what they did to you. It doesn't matter how they treated you. They have gone around and blamed you for everything that happened. And you just have to take that, and that's who they are. Don't let that bit of projection affect you. You've got to get some tough skin, and that's just the bottom line. You need to have some tough skin. Don't expect closure from them. Again, they are always going to be the victim. If you are asking for closure, it's almost like, it's not even it's almost like, but you're really essentially asking them to self-reflect and take a look at themselves and the role that they played and how they treated you. And they can't do this. Listen, they are unable to do that. Remember, they hardly empathize. They don't empathize. And they can't self-reflect. They just can't self-reflect. You are, it's like almost you asking them to validate what they did to you, and that's something that they cannot do. You cannot expect to get closure from them. What closure really represents is closing the door, closing the chapter, the end of that relationship. And that's not going to happen from them, because first of all, I don't care how long they disappear on you for. I don't care how long they go quiet on you. They are always watching you. They will hover you. They will stalk you. They're always watching, and it's just part of their makeup. You may not know it, you may not notice it, but trust me, they are. Some of these narcissists take time off. They take time off you because they're idolizing, or actually idealizing somebody else. Because you're not there anymore. They discarded you, that you discarded them, but they will love bomb somebody else during that period. And it doesn't matter. You have to, stop watching them. If you follow them on social media, it's time for you to block them. And I don't mean just remove them off your friend list or your followers, but actually block them, deny them access to you. There's nothing that you can, there's no way that you can think that it's cute or that it's, a good thing for them to, to poke you, to send waves. I don't know if poking is still a thing, but, to wave at you, or, just to slide in your DM and say something, or, them just call you up randomly just to check up on you. They don't care about you. They are just hoovering you, trying to see whether there is any way for them to come back into your life. Listen, deny them access, because you already know what they're about. They may come back to you and tell you that they have, they've changed and they see the error in your way. No, they're just trying to get you as supply again. That's who they are. They will never change. They will never change. Changing means that they have to take a look at themselves and actually be accountable for the wrong that they do, the hurt that they cause many people. They are, they're not going to be able to do this. Remember, they are, for the most part, they are pathological cheaters, pathological liars. They have pathological envy and jealousy. So that's going to follow them, and it will take intensive therapy and years at that. So they can't, if they disappear for X amount of time and they come around and they say, hey, I'm okay, and I want to work on us, so on and so forth, don't believe them. Deny them access. Like I said, do not let them back into your life, because all they will do is re-victimize you. And it's time that you stand up for yourself. Deny them that access. Like I was saying, there's nothing to feel good about if they are coming back at you and expressing this love or this desire for you. it's all a show. Listen, they are notorious for X recycling. Okay, they do that to triangulate. They do it because they need somebody. They need a constant source of validation. They're not able to validate. Nobody validates me. I validate myself. Nobody should validate you. You should validate yourself. That means you get to a point where you know who you are. You're comfortable with your abilities, your insecurities. You make peace with your past. And you decide that, listen, this is my life, and I don't need to explain myself to anybody. I don't need to make apologies for who I am, and then just claim that as your identity and move forward. But look, like I was saying, no contact is the best way to do it. You come and make peace within yourself that, okay, yes, this is what happened to me. Yes, I was a victim of narcissistic abuse. Yes, I believed the lies. Yes, I ignored the red flags. Yes, I settled for less than I'm worth. Tell yourself those things so that you can really come to terms with everything that happened. I know it's hard, and it's unbelievable that you would have to claim that this was part of your journey, but trust me, take it for what it is. And the sooner that you're able to accept the situation for what it is, and you can acknowledge the role that you played in the situation. Yeah, it's easy for us to blame the narcissist for everything, but truth be told, there are things that we could have done or we should have done differently. Like I mentioned, ignoring red flags, or having no to little boundaries, or lowering our standards to even let them into our lives in the first place. Because some of these people, when you meet them, it should have stopped at hello. There's nothing wrong with saying hi, but some of these situations, they should have just been like, hello, and let's keep it pushing. We allowed them access into their lives when really we shouldn't have. But just accept it for what it is. Make peace with yourself. Closure is really the gift that you give yourself. You decide. And part of that is that the narcissist never controls the final discard, because they will never discard you. As long as they know that they can keep coming back into your life, as long as they know that you are not over them, or that there's still that window of hope. That's why they go away. That's why they disappear. Sometimes it's for a couple of months at a time. Other times it's a year or two, up to 8 years. I know another YouTuber mentioned that it was 22 years that they knew a narcissist disappeared before coming back to try and love bomb their victim. Like, listen, nothing is off limits with them. But really, all they do that for is just to see whether you are still a viable source of supply. Distance yourself. Like, listen, some people have had to move. I moved. Some people relocate to different states, different countries. There are some crazy stories out there about how other survivors try to move forward. Some will totally redo their house, get rid of all old furniture, little reminders, because you have to detox, really. You really have to get them out of your system. So, you go through whatever you have to do. Think of ways to distance yourself from the narcissist. No contact, little to no responses when you have to. If you need to involve the authorities to get a protection order, then do those things. They hate boundaries, and when you instill boundaries, it's like you're telling them, no, you cannot come beyond this point. And they hate it. They'll hate you. Just be ready for the smear campaign, because they will call you everything under the sun, and that's okay, because that's how they feel about themselves. You do not have to accept anybody's false identity of you. We reject that, and let them go sit in the corner over there and have a little tantrum like the 3-year-olds that they are. Go through the process. Allow yourself to grieve. Allow yourself to feel the pain, but don't stay there. Surround yourself with those people that lift you up, those people who love and care for you. Those people who will be there for you. It's not everybody who understands what it's like to experience this type of abuse. It's not everybody who understands the process to recovery. I'm watching a squirrel play games right here. Anyway, it's hard for people to understand that, but it is very difficult when you have to really come to terms with the fact that this relationship that you thought you were in was nothing but an illusion. It's like it never happened, it didn't exist, it's only known to you, like, because they lying, like, like they play too many games. Okay, but focus on where you want to go. Set some goals for yourself. Set some some short-term goals and some long-term goals, and begin to work on those things. Like I would say for myself, I know that from the time that I got involved with this narcissist of mine, there were things about me that that changed. And I guess it was my body's way of speaking to me. I used to have a lot of migraines for no reason. Like they were terrible. I would have to be in bed. It was terrible. Okay, medication, different tests, all kinds of things. As soon as he left my life, as soon as we got rid of him, guess what? I never had another migraine, period. It was gone. All the weight that I put on dealing with this person started to come off. I re-engaged myself in the things that I like to do. Of course, I allowed myself to go through the grieving process, and it was hard because sometimes you just want to dull the pain. You want to ignore it. You want to go out and turn up so that, there's something to mask that pain. But don't do that. Allow yourself to go through the process, because that's part of the detox process. They're like a drug to us, like think about somebody who's coming off dope. They go through a difficult withdrawal process, and it's no different. So have some grace for yourself, and please allow yourself to go through that process. And trust me, at the end of it, it's so much worth it, because look, there are health benefits, there's mental clarity. You open yourself up to receiving everything that you deserve. And I'm telling you, once you've encountered one of these people in your life, it will never happen again if you pay attention and you take everything that you learned. And guard yourself, practice self-love, establish those boundaries and maintain them, and stay no contact. Yeah, we break contact every now and then. I've done it once, and after I did it, I realized that, okay, big mistake. Because all the narcissists really try to do was try to make me feel like I was missing out on a whole bunch of nothing. But at that point I already knew, so no, I just went back, no contact, and I will never look back again. I'm not missing out on anything. Life gets better. You'll find what you're looking for. It'll come find you. So, just relax. Don't expect closure from the narcissist. If you need to write letters to them, go ahead and do that. But don't send these letters. These are just the unsent letters that help you put things in perspective and help you get what you're feeling out. Now, sometimes it only will take you one letter. For other people, it might take several letters. It might be an ongoing process. But again, go ahead and do it. Allow yourself to, to process your emotions, to put things in perspective, and then write letters to your past self. Forgive yourself for the things that you did, as well as write letters for the future you, so that one day, set a date and say you'll be able to read and tell yourself what you're looking for. Tell yourself the things that you're working towards, and, see whether you're able to actually, achieve those things. But let that be your focus. Stop focusing on somebody who's not even thinking about you. The only time they're thinking about you is to see whether they can get some supply from you. The only time they're thinking about you is to sit back and go, ha, 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 ha. I bet you she's thinking about me. I bet you he's thinking about me. Meanwhile, they're with somebody else and they're feeling like, oh, if she only knew. Like, let it go. Let it go. As far as the new supply, as far as the exes that they recycled, that's on them, because we already know the deal. We already know the deal. And if you already were with them and you went back to them, well, you should know better. But hey, you can't change somebody. A leopard never changes its spots, only the pattern. Have a good day, y'all, and thanks for joining me for this session.